everyone. My name is Kaya. I'm from the Japanese TI program. Sorry, I don't have a presentation, but I hope you'll bear with me. Just to give you a little background, before I came to MIS, I was a Japanese language assistant for 1 year, and I did a little bit of community interpreting, but that's about it for experience. So in my first year, I decided I wanted to work in an organization and hopefully do some interpreting and translation as well. And I applied to some places, didn't get through some, but I was fortunately offered a internship at Gokin America, and this is a company in Ohio, and it provides engineering services, automotive-related engineering services, as well as language services. Now you might think that because I chose this automotive-related company, I have some interest in cars. To be honest, before I went to this internship, I had zero interest in cars. And actually, the last time I drove a car was 2 years ago in Japan when I was taking my driving test. So this summer was all about learning about cars and learning how to drive on the other side of the road. I remember I was in the parking lot in Ohio and I just couldn't drive and felt like, what did I get myself into? But in the end, it turned out to be really great, and yes, I did get past the parking lot, if you're wondering. So at Gokin America, I mainly did translation work, machine translation, and terminology management, and a bit of interpreting too. And initially that was going to be it, my 3 months in Ohio, but I expressed my interest in interpreting, and Gokin America gratefully they sponsored an interpreting internship at Honda R&D. And Honda R&D, as you probably know, designs and develops Honda and Acura products. So I was really lucky. And at Honda, I followed my senior interpreters to their meetings and also had a chance to interpret too. And these meetings weren't like you had a booth in the back or anything. Actually, the interpreters would sit on a rolly chair and they had a headset and they would be interpreting the meetings among the workers. And another big part of the meetings was meetings with Japan side Honda. And that meant there was a huge time difference. So to accommodate that, we had night shifts and morning shifts. And I went to the morning shifts, so that meant I had to be there like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So it was pretty rough, and I could see how much physical and mental stamina you need, but the sunrise was really nice when I went to work. So, what did I learn from my internships? So this was my first time to be an in-house interpreter and translator, and I saw how much of it is based on social interaction. It really depends on the company, but Gokin and Honda, there's a really close distance with the other engineers and other project managers, and I could see with the interpreters who were doing really well, they were really taking the effort to get to know the people around them. And in the meetings too, whenever they stumbled, which didn't happen often, but the engineers would just jump right in and say, hey, this means this. And in my own interactions too, I thought I was going to be a complete loner in Ohio because I didn't know anyone. But in the end, I met some really great engineers, and they became my great friends, and we still keep in touch. Half of the time I wouldn't know what they're talking about because they'd be going on and on about this specific car part or this car race and how it's so cool. But still, it's really great to watch someone who's really passionate about something, especially if you don't know it and don't know much about it, because they make a new window for you, for a new world. And that's what motivated me to want to interpret for them. So I'm really thankful for that. And I could see that trust is key in building your knowledge and skills. So if you're interested in that kind of interactive interpreting, I really recommend in-house to you. The other lesson that I learned in the hard way is the difference between an ideal interpreting environments and reality. So here we learned that, after 15 or 20 minutes, you should switch off with your partner. But it really hit me when I was told in Ohio one time to interpret for 5 hours by myself with no partner. That pretty much violates everything I learned here. So I was in a panic, but I reached out to my professors and my peers, and they gave me great suggestions. In the end, I was able to express my doubt, but I couldn't express my limit just because I didn't know what my limits were. So it was tough, but it was great to understand what happens to the quality after a number of hours. And I think next time I'll be able to stand up for myself more because I've experienced that now. So it's great to get off campus and see those gaps and see how you can deal with them in real life. My advice to you, Winnie might get mad at me, but of course internship is one option for the summer. You know, I had other classmates and other people who graduated before me who took the time to really study or research something, and I think that's great. And also volunteer, that's also a great way to spend it. But if you do end up deciding that you wanted to do internship, I would really encourage you to do some on-site internships because A, it's refreshing to get off campus, as I'm sure you all understand, and B, you get to meet all these different people, see different models of interpreting, translation, and also just generally speaking, leadership or lifestyles. So I would recommend that to you. And the second piece of advice is just to be open to opportunities, especially unexpected opportunities, because you never know what you're going to like or what you're not going to like. And yeah, so I think that it's a great way to figure out what you might be interested in and to also be open to what you might be able to potentially do. I think it's really easy to look at job descriptions and qualifications and say, oh, I don't have that many years of experience or knowledge. But my professor encouraged me, no matter what, you can just go for it because you never know, they might accept you or they might adjust that internship so it fits more to your needs. Like Goken did for me, they might cater more to your needs too. So I would say just be open and just go at your own pace. Thank you very much for your kind attention.